This playthrough is rated T for teen.
Your Majesty, the troops have assembled. Her Majesty wishes to address us before we leave. Lend her your ears.
I know you have all been worried after the death of the previous queen. Thank you for following and believing in me. We fairies subsist on phosons and take our names from the heavens. Our work keeps the land full of life, and we cannot survive without the land's blessing. The Demon Lord opposes life. He taints the phoson with blood and uses force to violate our land. We feel the fury of the land, and we in turn quake with anger. But we need not fear. This is my mother's bow. Infused with a new power, it shall shatter the Demon Lord's wicked eye. Those that have died here, the prayers of my mother, and those who have returned their names will protect us. We will retake the cauldron, and we'll show the Demon Lord that he has underestimated our resolve. May the land bless us in the name of the fairies!
Queen Mercedes, you have become quite the noblewoman. It's as if the late queen herself stood before us.
I am not my mother. I'm trembling. My fear overruns my hatred. When I think that the evil man who murdered my mother is nearby, my heart beats so fast within my chest. But it has begun. My battle is raging. Ingwe, I hope I succeed.
Greetings and salutation, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Odin Sphere Leifthrasir. The last episode, we got the fire from the fires of creation. We're able to create the Rufflin, something like that. And now we've created a new weapon that can finally pierce the Vanillaware, which means Odin is now on death's door. As soon as we get to him, he'll be no more. Finally put all this to rest. Yeah, Mercedes' story kind of takes place in the middle of everyone else's tales, because like we encounter her later on in the story, but she's already like, well, I mean, we already know what, we pretty much have a good idea of what happens because of the other players' characters, but you know, like, well, let's just say the whole ring to Trell, the apocalypse scenario, none of that gets mentioned during Mercedes' storyline. It's all, it's like, I guess her story is her just becoming a queen in her own right, which is fine. It's kind of interesting that that's what her story is out of all of them, you know. Although we haven't even run across the character that has the most background in the story yet. We finally get the elixir, which allows us to get immunity to spells. We could have made this before, but I thought it was best to wait until the game told us. But yeah, you know those characters we hardly ever use? Well, we can actually make elixirs. I forgot what the length of it is. I think it's like 30 seconds or something like that. But yeah, basically if you're having trouble or a big attack comes, you can basically go, hey. So actually, I'm probably going to do that in future play areas of the game. Is like I'm probably going to try to find ways to grind for characters so I can make elixirs. But oh well, anyway. Yeah, we're getting close. We're basically fighting all this war, and we're waiting for the end. I haven't maxed out all my like foods and stuff like that, but yeah, I'll do that later.
Queen Mercedes, we are winning the battle! The Aesir are fleeing, and their command is in disarray!
Apparently, Mercedes is a good
The
battle commander. She
Aesir.
stop it. Apparently, she was able to convince all these people to fight for her quite strongly. That even the Aesir, despite their numbers, are probably getting pushed
The
back.
materials you requested have arrived, Your Majesty.
Your Majesty, why not look at my wares?
And I guess this is the difference between a successful force and a cornered rat or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so you gotta draw a ring. We're going to buy that just for the collection. Oh man, we're almost out of money. Had to buy some shrimp off screen because there's like very few places that like straight out guarantee shrimp. Oops. Yeah, we'll drop off that. Don't need that. Okay. We'll equip the accessory later.
Your Majesty, do not worry about me. I will still fight for you.
Oh man, these people really believe in Mercedes after everything.
Your
that's happened.
Majesty, we have received reports that the Demon Lord has entered the battlefield.
I'd probably say Mercedes probably has, despite me not liking her character fighting style, probably has the biggest growth out of all the characters. She goes from timid girl to queen, confident queen. Looks like our enemies are the bear dudes here, so let's put them in their place. As far as I know, they basically play very similar to the Knights of, or the Guardians of Titania, so. Okay. I really need to start doing other abilities. Ow. You are not getting a pain. Oh, okay. I was about to say you are not getting a painkiller. That reduces your damage by like a lot. Yeah, that ability works so well. That wasn't the ability I wanted to use. I wanted to use the energy shot. Oh yeah, I never did use the lunar side. Oh, that's pretty cool. I thought it was similar to Gwendolyn. I healed. I thought I was smacking enough to like not get that. Oh, did another bear dude appear? Great. Alright, I need to... Let's, I thought I had some extra... Let's see, that's a toxin. I could throw my really... Yeah, we'll just throw coolers on this. That'll be good. Not too bad. Despite the keyboards. Ow! Alright, oh, and they're even using their own, nice. Yeah, don't use those potions. Oh, they did get me. Man, these guys are like they never did this as much on Gwendolyn's Neil's is fun. It's just like Mercedes gets the shaft when it comes to like stuff like this. Yeah, let's try using. No, I did already use a cyclone. I think we're fine. Man, I almost killed one yet. Yeesh. Oh, there goes one. Why do I keep playing Mercedes like a regular character? You know what I mean? I'm not I'm not flying in the air like I probably should be. Like, I'm not. Ah, come on, Nick. And we got him. Whew. That was a little tough, especially since we had to fight 3 of the bear warriors, but we did it. Yay! Man, we got a 525 max chain. I think that's the highest I've ever done in the game, actually, in terms of chain combos. Very nice. Oh yeah, didn't even check to see how big this area is. It might be a 2-parter. We'll see what happens. It depends on how quickly I can get through it is. Dump that. Keep 1 elixir. I'm really only going to use elixirs if I'm about to die and I don't have any healing. It gives me a chance to like. Yeah, I was like, yeah, we're finally fighting after all this time, despite us being at war with the Aesir, or yeah, the Aesir, right? We finally fight them. That makes sense in a war movie, right? Yeah, not too bad. Not too difficult. I mean, they are harder than they would be for Gwendolyn or for Cornelius because we're fighting last. But are we even gonna do speed belt? I don't forward to thing. Let's go the other way so we can get their foes on. It looks like there's a lock somewhere, so we have to go gathering up anyway. Nope, sorry, ladies, you cannot defeat me. I am a fairy of some renown. You may have heard of me. I have foot block. I've noticed it is hard for Mercedes to stop someone who's blocking, because the only way she can either do that charge attack next to the ground, or she has to get up right next to them and like trip them like a. And seriously, if you've got a gun, why walk up right next to a dude and try to hit him? You know what I mean? That doesn't. Now I understand getting close to a person for accuracy's sake, because you know there's some handguns aren't accurate, but still. You always see that in movies where a guy with a gun will get right up next to a guy who's shown to either be physically capable or whatever, and then they get their butts beat by the hero, and that always threw me off. I'm like, really? Come on. Anyway, we get the Broniac. That's basically the super mega spell that every main character gets. This one, fire explosive magic bullets high above to shower the land below. I'll definitely show that, if not at a regular boss, at least at a let's see, for completion. Let's see, observe above when before the underground pot. Okay, that. Well, if anything, I'll show it off during the final boss. I think I forgot to do that for Cornelius's story, so I'll try showing those off maybe later, like before I finish playing the game or something. I'll show off all the like abilities or something like that off screen or something. Oh, we got another. Another. God, we're still getting more recipes even before the end. The consomme. Yeah, that looks like an expensive feast for the eyes. You would think that we wouldn't be running around the battlefield like this. You'd think we'd just run into Odin and we just fight each other straight up, but for game's sake, we have to go through this like convoluted means it's difficult. No, we just have to go through this silly sense of exploration before we fight the boss. It's just one of those things you kind of think about when you're playing, and just, you think of the silliness of it. And it only works in video games, which is probably why video games are so hard to turn into movies, you know? Because people think when they make the movie that they want to make it. Most people who direct the movie want to make something completely different from the show, or from the game or whatever. Yet people who went to see the movie expected a lot of stuff from the game, but you know perfectly well that some things don't translate well to the screen as opposed to the video game, despite video games being an interactive format like what we are here. You know, it's definitely a. Oh, and I don't think I ever finished my conversation about the World of Warcraft movie, about how like it's a jumble of a movie because it tried to do basically, as far as I understand, it tried to, we get the DK keys in that, by the way. It tried to do, from what I understand, it's basically an amalgamation of the first game with bits of storylines for the other games to try and perhaps get in a sequel. But because the movie did well, but from what I hear, I don't think they're going to do a sequel, or if they're not, it's going to be a while. I don't know. I've heard some mixed, at least at the time of the recording, which the bad thing is if they ever decide to do a sequel, that'll kind of date the movie. But at the time of recording, there wasn't an immediate plans for a sequel to the movie, despite it doing very well in the box office. The thing was, it didn't even do well in the country as probably, okay. Well, I guess World of Warcraft is popular around the world, so I can't really say it was planned for us specifically. But it did tear. A lot of people in America says it did bad because it only did like, I don't know, it did like, I'm trying to remember, I think it only did like 30 million in America, something really tiny comparatively. While But if you went to like overseas or China, it did like gangbusters. It did like, didn't it do like 500 million or something crazy like that in other countries? So it's considered a success despite the audience that it was originally designed for being English. Not saying that people from other countries shouldn't enjoy our movies. It's just, you know, the idea of the movie was it was designed for English-speaking audiences and originals. And so a lot of the people who made the movie said, well, it's obviously a success because of all the money it made, but they tend to forget that even in its own country, a lot of English-speaking people did not like the movie. Should that always be the case? No. If someone is making a Japanese movie and they're clearly not making it for an American audience. But the thing is, there are movies made in other countries that work because they were written well or created well, despite a lot of cultures having like weird like kind of not issues like, well, just cultural differences. Like just some things are either more interesting or entertaining or whatever to another person. Humor is the most obvious one. Now, if it's a comedy, yeah, I can see that. Like no matter what you do, it's just not going to translate well because some stuff just doesn't. I mean, some comedians would tell you otherwise. There are some comedians that are universal. They can talk to people through the way of laughing, but guess what? People find things completely different. There's some things I just don't find funny at all, you know, which is why it's hard to judge comedic films because, you know, you say it's a bad movie. It's like, well, okay, it's bad. Do you say it's bad from a directorial standpoint or how it looks or whatever, or are you saying it's bad because it wasn't funny? Which, I mean, yeah, you don't like it because it's not funny, but because it's a bad film, and it's hard to say. I don't know. I'm not a movie director. You know. I'll admit that there are some movies I find are okay that aren't masterpieces, but I don't know. I think the only issue I have it is if you don't learn from the criticism of the movie, then then you should make a sequel. You make your first movie and then you learn to get better, right? But if you just choose to make the same mistakes, then I don't know. I feel like you need to. I feel people tend to ignore that to try and make it easy. The game industry is just like that too. We want similar things, and this may be an audience issue too, because we always tell people we want something, but we never accept it when it gives us something different. And games always try to make the same thing over and over again because they feel it works, and sometimes it does. I mean, look at Mario, for example. Wait, I have to enter from the top? That's kind of... Do I need to drop some stuff off? We are almost at a rest stop, so... Okay. Oh, we get another flying level. Hooray. Great. I wonder why they save these for the... Oh, nice. We're fighting bombardiers or whatever. That's kind of funny. You can't stop the fairy. She's too powerful. Well, it makes sense we're fighting them in the air because Valkyries float. Not really fly, but they float, and they have those bombardier type of creatures. I'm surprised we're not fighting the... Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. I was about to say, I'm surprised we're not fighting the dirigible boss that all the other... dang it, I ran into it. That all the other people had to fight. Nope, we're doing it. Dang it. Ah! You got me wrapped up in stitches. I need to get that. Okay. Kind of the way in. Alright, let's look at that one. That one's kind of getting me annoying. Got to it, man. Now get rid of the balloon. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to use my abilities, or my spells on it. Now, yeah, now that I'm actually paying attention, although I hardly took any damage from it, so. See, I'm hardly getting hurt by those super bombs or whatever they call them. They're hardly doing any damage to me when they hit me. We're almost done. No, that's not it. Yeah, there you go. Now that was actually kind of fun. I mean, not the super original, but should have known that was going to happen eventually. new Ringford reference as well. Anything else? Oh, we missed another treasure chest. Are you kidding me? Oh man, when was that? No way. I don't think that has anything to do with the hidden area, but now I'm kind of curious. Ah, well, I'll do it later. Oh, actually, I want to plant one of those rewards while I'm here because I need some for my what's the word? For the chef. Yeah. Do we need any more? Okay, there we go. All right. There we go. Yeah, I think off screen I'm gonna see what it is. It's probably not that important because I don't think the hidden secret has anything to do with it. It didn't say anything about chest. Or actually, well, hold on. Maybe I misread. Let me see. Sorry about observe before the underground pot. Yeah, that has nothing to do with that what we were doing. So nope, that is not it. Hello.
I'm neutral in this war.
Yeah,
I'm in this.
he just repeats from what last time. Yeah, I'll go in by the last spirit stone and the last 8. Do I have enough for that? Yeah, I do. That's what I found enough items. Which items I don't really need, but I'm buying them anyway. Alright. Pull this off. That. Okay. Alright. Well, it looks like we've got a small little bit to go, and yeah. Okay, so we got a bit more to go. The Venir are not making it easier for the Aesir to... I think I mixed that up. The Aesir are not making it easier for the Venir to take over and get the cauldron back. Well, it looks like it's our final stand as queen. We must raise our crossbow high and lead our troops into battle against Odin. Will the Rublum be strong enough to defeat the Balor? Will the fairies finally get their peace against the Demon Lord? Will they put him to end? Or will the apocalypse still occur? Find out in the finale of Mercedes' Tale in the next episode of Odin Sphere Leifthrasir. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.